So you're thinking about moving to Arizona, but you're not quite sure where you want to be yet. In today's video, I'm going to be taking you through my top 5 communities here in the West Valley. These are my opinion, and they are based on the way I rated them was the accessibility of the community, what kind of amenities does it have, are there schools, is there shopping close by, also where's the healthcare. So I'm just basing this on when I moved here from California. As a mom, I had 3 kids, and I needed all of those things. I needed the ability to get places to work. I worked in the city. So how long does it take you to get to work? How long does it take you to get to the grocery store? So if you're someone that is retired, this may also help you as well, just because some of these communities do have a 55 plus portion in them. So let's get started. Coming in at number 5 is called Estrella Mountain Ranch. It's on the south end of this map. And the reason this community comes in at number 5 is due to accessibility and its location. So if you are someone that needs to get to a freeway in order to get to work, our main freeway here is the I-10. This runs east-west, and then we have the 303 freeway, which runs north-south. In order to get to this community, it is about a 10 to 12 mile, depending on the road that you take out of this community. There's about 3 different ways you can get out of this community, which in the morning, if you're getting to work and you need to commute to work, that's about a 20 to 30 minute drive with traffic to the I-10 freeway. So it is a little bit remote. In terms of getting kids to practices and that sort of thing. If you need to leave the community, it's a little bit of a hike. Once you are inside of this community, however, it is a fantastic community. You will need to go and watch our video on Estrella Mountain Ranch because we do cover all of the amenities in here, but just briefly, it does have 2 lakes. They do have community pools. They do have a 55 plus portion of this community. They do have a golf course. There is shopping within this community. So they do have a Safeway. They have a Banner Health Center. They do have an urgent care. So that's all within this community. If you needed to get to a hospital, that's about 10 to 12 miles away to a main hospital. So not super far away. So in terms of healthcare, not too far. Dentists and that sort of thing, you are going to have to leave this community, but you do have one Banner Health Clinic in the community, and you do have an urgent care in the community. Low HOAs in here, gorgeous views. They are still building in here, so there is some still construction traffic. It is very spread out as well. So on this map, if you can see, down here is the 55 plus area. It's called Cantamia. It is 5 miles to the Safeway, just so to give you an idea of how large this community is. And again, they are still building here. So there is still construction and that sort of thing, but gorgeous community. Only reason it gets to number 5 on my list is just its remote and accessibility if you needed to commute or get anywhere. Coming in at number 4 is Marley Park. This community comes in at number 4 only because, one, it doesn't have a golf course, and it's a little bit smaller, and it doesn't have quite the amenities that Estrella has. But it comes in at number 4 for me because of the great convenience of this community. So you are less than a mile to the 303, which then takes you to the 10 or the I-17. You have tons of shopping right in here at the Prasada. You have a Costco, a Sprouts, you have lots of different restaurants that are all going in. This is a brand new 700,000 square foot commercial center. There's a theater there. Everything is there. You have an urgent care there, car wash. Everything is right in this area here. Here's your Costco, businesses that are still coming in here. The schools are right inside of this community. So you have in Marley Park, you have an elementary school, a middle school, and you are 4 miles to the Dysart High School. Everything's really close. You do have 2 community pools. You have ball fields here. You have a fitness center, community center. It's very walkable in This area here, there's a Basha's. So right at the corner of the community right here, there's a grocery store, Little Caesars. They have a little Vogue Bistro, which is an amazing restaurant. 31 flavors there. So everything is really close in here. They are still building out. A small section of this is still being built, but in terms of construction traffic, it's pretty much done. This community is pretty much built out. It's a smaller community. As you can see on the map, there is also a Fry's, and this section here, Safeway, Home Depot is close by, Uptown Alley is here, so bowling. So everything's really close. So for your kids, you know, to get them out of the community if they weren't wanting to go to a park, if you wanted to take them to the theater or bowling, everything's really, really close by. So convenience is why this one basically ranks out the Estrella Mountain. Even though it doesn't have a golf course, you are close to golf courses. So coming in number 3, Sterling Grove. The reason this comes in at number 3 is this community is brand new. So the facilities, the pools, the amenities, state of the art. This has a spa here. This has community pools, tennis, pickleball, bocce ball, all sorts of things. Has a 4-acre putting green area, is still being built out. So that is the one con of this community, is that it is new and it is still being built out. But in terms of convenience, as you can see, super close to this 303 freeway. Once again, accessing it by Cactus or West Peoria Avenue. Right here is a brand new Safeway. And then as we talked about with Marley Park, right up the freeway is your Costco here and that huge shopping center here. So really close by to that. There's also an urgent care really close by. I believe it is right in here actually. So close to, you know, your healthcare. There is schools, which I'll show you right up the road, less than 2 miles. Right up here, you have your Shadow Ridge High School, and then you have Mountain View High School. So those are the 2 schools. There's also a Legacy School that's right here. So in terms of convenience, you're right by the 303, which takes you to the 10 or the 17. Really easy access to everything. You also, what gave it a high ranking is you are really close to these White Tank Mountains right here. So the views are stunning to your west. Absolutely beautiful views, sunsets coming in over these mountains and the White Tanks. There's tons of hiking trails up in this area, horseback riding. This is the White Tank Regional Park. So really close by and just stunning views from the golf course all around. So this came in at number 3. Number 2 is Vistancia. This is located in northern Peoria. This is a large master plan community as well. This community does have a 55 plus section of it. It does have tons of amenities, and it too is also very close, once again, to this 303 freeway. So you are less than 2 miles to the freeway from the center of Vistancia, basically what they call the village at Vistancia, which is where they have all of their shopping. So there is a Safeway, there is a Banner Health Clinic in here, a Chase Bank, gas station, all of the things, once again, where you have your fast food restaurants, your restaurants are right at the heart of this community. So there are 4 distinct communities in this master plan community. So in terms of whether or not it was going to rank out my number 1, the only reason why I would say that it didn't outperform my number 1 community is just the fact that it is broken up into 4 kind of distinct communities. So each of those communities have their own amenities, which is very nice. So you could go either way. It does have 2 separate golf courses. One is here in Blackstone, and that is a private course. And then this is your 55 and over community, and this is a public course, and this is Trilogy. They have a spa here, you know, in terms of amenities and their pools and their rec centers. Really, really pretty. This is very spread out, and it is still growing. They are still doing lots of construction. As you can see in the northern part up in this area, here is North Point, and that is all still brand new construction. So if you are up in the newer area, it is a little bit more of a hike to get down, but it's still closer than Estrella Mountains was. So also, in order to get to kind of that bigger shopping or your theaters and that sort of thing, you're just going to be taking this Vistancia, and here's kind of a lot more shopping that's literally 8 minutes away or 10 minutes away. The only con that this community, when I was asking people that actually live in this community, is there is no high school in this community. So when we're talking about amenities, great. Convenience to the freeway, great. For a hospital, you're about 10 miles away. You do have an urgent care within this community, so that's really close. But your high school is about 8 miles away. There are 2 K-8 schools in this community, so that's great. So really the only con in here is just that your high school is not located in here, and they are in need of a high school. So people are feeling like the schools are getting pretty crowded and they really could use another school in there. So everything's great, amenities, convenience, and you have those mountain views. So it was a toss up between this next community that came in at number 1. And let me just also tell you about Vistancia. If anybody is moving out here for a job at this semiconductor facility that is going to be in Peoria, Vistancia would be a great place to live because it is right off of this 303. And so you're probably about 15 minutes away from that Taiwan company that's a chip manufacturing company that everybody's talking about. Coming in at number 1 is back down here in Buckeye, and this is called Verrado. So this map on Google Maps doesn't even really give you the outline of all of Verrado because it does go clear up here and is still growing. So that is the one con that I would say about this community is there is still a lot of construction going on. So we do have a huge portion. This community has been here for almost 20 years. A lot of it is built out, but there are, this Verrado has this 55 plus community of Victory, which is right up in this area. This is newer, so this started in 2015, and they are still expanding out in this area. They are going to be expanding farther out here into the desert as well. So there are going to be more homes being built. And so as you can see, there's no easy way for trucks and equipment and heavy equipment to get out here. So you are going to be treading through the main community in order to get out here and do that building. So I would say that would be the biggest con is kind of that construction and road work and infrastructure still trying to keep up with the growth of this community. But this community has 2 different golf courses. It has over 100 different parks and open space areas. There are community pools in this area. They have a spa up in this 55 plus, which is open to the public, fitness center, and there are custom lots around the golf course. They are still available, and lots of restaurants in this community. So once you are at this community, it's also super convenient. So this community has great access to the 303 and the 10. So if you're in this community, you're going to be taking Indian School Road down to this 303. It's about 4 to 5 miles. And then if you're in the heart of the community, you come down to this 10, you're less than 2 miles away. So convenience, you can't beat it. It's right up also next to these White Tank Mountains, even closer to the White Tank Mountains than Vistancia is. So you really get a lot of wildlife here, like deer, bobcat, lots of palm trees, lots of mature trees growing in here. So when you come in here, it feels very lush, and it's also very compact compared to Vistancia. At the moment, it is, like I said, it is still growing, so it is going to be quite large eventually. But right now you still have that really small town feel, very walkable town center. They do fireworks, they do concerts on the park, which also Vistancia and all of these other master plan communities do as well. But it does feel very small town charm when you come into this community. It is very compact. The shopping is very close, so you have the Fry's Marketplace, which is right here off of Indian School. Here is your Fry's, and you have all sorts of restaurants there. Ace Hardware, Goodwill, Salad and Go, Mod Pizza, lots of restaurants. On the opposite side, down in this area, we are going to have our theater. They are opening up a Costco right here on July 14th, which is in a couple months from now. I'm filming this in May. So they are still building out a lot of this stuff here, but as of right now, once you get into this community, you are close to everything. You're close to all of your shopping. They do have dentists right in the Main Street area here. You have your dental, your skin care, there's dental along this Fry's Marketplace. You have your schools right in here as well. So the schools, there's 2 middle schools, 2 elementary schools, a preschool and a high school in here. So everything's really convenient. So again, accessibility, amenities, schools, healthcare, and shopping is all really close. And then that I-10 freeway and the 303 take you anywhere you want to go. We do not have a theater out here, but it is planned to go in here along with a lot of higher end restaurants and that sort of thing. So great investment opportunity. If you are thinking about moving out here, there are still new builds to be had and lots of resales in here. So it's a great location. That came in at my number 1. If you have questions about any of these communities, again, we've done videos on all of these communities, so you can go and watch each one of them so you can see what the houses look like and the price points. We talk about what at the average price point is for each one of these communities. My name is Michelle Seymour. I am a real estate agent here that covers the area west of Phoenix, that's also known as the West Valley. And I get phone calls every day from people just like you that are thinking about making the move here to Arizona. So if that's you and you're thinking about moving in the next day, week, or month from now, please feel free to shoot me a text, give me a call, send me an email, and I'd be happy to help. Also, if you are new here to this channel, please hit the bell to subscribe so you can be the first to learn about anything new hitting the market here in Phoenix, and I would be happy to answer any of your questions. So please leave me a comment or drop me a call. Thanks so much for joining me today.